Okay, hello again. It was a couple of months of work, and now you can see my nearly finished. Overhead is mounted on the overhead structure, and the main instrument panel is also up and running. Some details are missing, but basically we can fly with this setup now. I will show you an engine start today with a fully working overhead and Sim Avionics software in the back running. Okay, first of all, we are standing here in Vienna, in Austria, at Pier West on position Charlie 43, and we will now start the engines on this position. I will leave the Aerosoft IES in the background, so we don't need it for this demonstration now. First of all, our LCD display is showing a welcome message. If we enable the battery, it will show us the electronic status of all the equipments. So, we can see some lights were coming out from the flight controls, hydraulics stands by below there, the bus system, as well as the emergency exit lights, the notification that are not armed, etc. The next thing we would enable the standby power, and the next thing we will start the APU. So the APU is starting. As you can see, until now there is no servo built in, but in the background the servo is running already. It will take a couple of seconds until the APU ready light will show up. APU is now available, and you can hear also the background noise from Sim Avionics. In the meantime, also the main instrument panel came on, flight management computer, as well as the 6-pack from the captain side. The next thing we will do with the flight management computer, we will enable the quick calibration, because I don't have simulated an after overhead panel. So we go there into Sim and say APU AIDU align now, and there we are aligned. So as the APU is running, we can switch our boost systems to the APU, and yes, some other systems went automatically on. We can see there the frequency. From now we have the APU generator. Please notice that the 7 up in the corner, and it's not a right value. I have to correct it afterwards. We can now switch, for example, through all the generator settings. Example, generator 1 is not running. Also on the left hand side, where I see now the battery status, the auxiliary battery, the battery boost, backup battery, etc. Okay, for the next thing, we will enable the flight controls and the spoiler controls, and on the other hand we will enable the engine and electric systems. The isolation valve we have to set to automatic for start, and the APU switch to on for the packs, for the bleed, sorry. Also we can enable here the emergency exit light. We can set it to armed, so that this indication will go off. As we are now nearly finished with the setup, we can quit the warnings And I can show you one more thing that's already working on these buttons as well as these 3 buttons. There will be some naming plates on it later on. We can do a light test. So we have a lot of lights in the main instrument panel working right now and lighting up. And I can show you that the buttons are working. If you switch it off, the light will go off as well. So let's start the engine. APU is running, we have an active bleed and an isolation while we start, and now we can set it engine number 1 to ground. As you can see, the engine is spooling up, and you can see engine 1 is spooling up now. Engine 1 to off, engine 2 to ground start. Engine 2 is spooling up, and with switching in 2 we can enable the fuel and the engine is up and running. As engine number 1 is running, we can switch the generator on, so we have these lights go off, and engine number 2 is spooling up but not stabilized yet, so we need to wait a couple of seconds. Now engine number 2 is also stabilized. We can switch the APU to off, but before we do this we set the bleed air to both systems. We can see now a dual bleed indication. If we disable the APU, the dual bleed is gone. Also the packs can be enabled, that the packs are on, and APU switching off. You can hear in the background that the APU is getting turned off, and also the jaw damper as last system we can switch on. Then we have a little other things. We can make an attend call for the crew. All the other buttons are not programmed yet, so maybe this, they are playing then some wave files or whatever. As we can see, our main instrument panel is also working. I can show you there, for example, all the airports in the near of Vienna. So we have there the airports. Can also give you a data, and the data turned off. Same with waypoints. It should take a couple of seconds to load all the GPS waypoints. Here we go. And as well for the stations, what I can show you is the terrain radar. The terrain radar will show us maybe completely red now, because we are on the ground. So there's nothing to display below us. And we have also programmed there the red light that indicates us that the parking brake is set now and off, and again set on. Also the ATC, the transponder is working correct. And the flight management system, we can make the cabin calls.
Doors to automatic and cross-check. Cabin crew, take your seats for takeoff, please.
And the last thing I can show you working is the flap gauge. So you can see flaps are up now. flaps are now to 1, rolling to 2. You can see below the indications the yellow and the green LED also rolling to 5, etc. And venting back up to 0. Also the autopilot is working, but I showed this in another video. So basically that's the status of my cockpit until now. I hope you enjoyed again the video, and in the next couple of weeks I will continue to work on the overhead and the construction. As you can see there's something missing, and a lot of cables are in the back, so this needs to be done in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for joining, and you'll find an app to date status as usual on my website. Thank you, bye bye.